Alright, so I've already removed the lid of the Xbox 360, but I haven't been inside this yet, so we're going to do that now. And we're on my kitchen table because I'm out of room on my desk. Also, I thought it might be a better angle to look at it from this side as opposed to the over back of my head. So we'll see how this works. Oh, hello. So we need a Sharpie. So this is a long screw, short screw. And long. So I think that's all of the screws. Someone's definitely been in this before. It actually had a sticker on the plastic. It said GameStop recertified or refurbished, waited for move. So obviously we removed it because we don't care. Okay, that is coming off a lot more unexpectedly than I thought. So this is going to flip over and this whole top will come off, it looks like. And now we get the first look at the inside. So the problem that I've seen with this is with this disk drive. Let me hook it up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so we're firing it up here. The disk drive just keeps coming open. And close it. So it keeps kicking it back out. I'm not sure what's doing that. So that's what's actually wrong with this thing, at least initially. So I think what we'll do is power back off and dig a little deeper. And of course, unplug your power before you start on anything. This is weird. I don't actually know what's going on with all these wires down here. It looks like someone spliced into these wires for this black and red cable here. This does not look factory. So let's see if we can figure out what that's actually going to.
Oh, are you gonna expose GameStop?
I might. Okay. So that looks like they're taking the power from the fan. This is the fan port that plugs in down here. Huh. I'm not sure. We'll look at this a little more in a minute. Let's look at that. That's our power delivery and then the SATA connector. May have to grab my multimeter for what they're doing with these plugs here. But either way, it's plugged in down here on this fan header on the motherboard. Alright, so I went and grabbed a good old multimeter here, which I don't know if you can read or not, but yeah, it looks like you can. So we're going to, I guess we're just going to probe this and see what these voltages are here that they're tapping into. See why they're doing this. I don't think this will even come on with it open like this, but we can find out. Which one is the power button? Ah. Two fairly good exhaust fans there. We'll put the shroud back on for now. Alright, so let's excuse me. Get a good back probe here. So we can just check these voltages on here. So that's 11 volts, 11 volts, 5 volts, that's ground, 3.2 volts, 5 volts, 12 volt, 12 volt. 12 volt. I'm not sure. I keep feeling heat. You can't tell where it's coming from. Is it this cable that's getting hot? Can't really tell. I think it is though. Hey babe, can I borrow you for a minute? I need an outside opinion. You feel this cable through and see if it feels hot to you?
Yep, that's warm.
Oh. Let's see what's going on in here. So there's definitely a fusible link there where it's hot. Can you do me a favor? Can you grab this like black and brown wire so I can pull the sleeving back on it?
Oh, if you catch me on fire.
You won't catch on fire.
You shock me.
Yeah, probably won't shock you. There we go. Okay, so there's a big resistor wired in series here. That's why that's getting hot. Resistors are supposed to get hot. So that's probably fine. But I don't know why it's there in the first place. Debating on grabbing mine and opening it up and seeing if it has this wiring nonsense in it, or if that's something that GameStop's done. So I do know that on my console, the fans do not run at 100% at all times, and these fans have been on at 100% since this thing started. So what I'm guessing is that when they refurbish this thing, they put this modification in here to run these fans at full speed at all times to prevent it from overheating and getting the red ring and what have you. I can grab mine, which was recertified by Microsoft themselves, and we can see if it has that too.
Let's also not slander GameStop, just in case it wasn't them.
Well, this was refurbished by GameStop. That's what that sticker said on it. Refurbished by GameStop, warranty void if removed. So, GameStop was involved in this some way, shape, or form.
Could it have been opened afterwards?
Very possible, but...
Who will let the sticker on it?
Right. Oh, actually no, because that sticker was not broken to get back inside the case. And it was one of those that actually leaves the residue behind of where you can see half the sticker still stuck to it. Let's see if we can find a game we don't particularly care about and see what it does. Alright, so we're going to try this out. We're going to use LEGO Indiana Jones Original Adventures. I want to see what happens when you actually get a disc in this thing. So it looks like it's stuck in a loop of trying to close and open the drive repeatedly. So I think that's going to warrant taking apart the actual disc drive. So let's power back off, get my Indiana Jones out of there, and tear down the disc drive itself, and go from there. Now that I know where the power button is. Okay.
No power button.
Plug.
I recognize you without a red ring.
That was kind of brutal, dear.
Yeah, especially for their Xbox is amazing.
I mean, it's my third one.
Usually boxes go on.
But I've had that particular one for, I don't even know how many years now. Over 7, maybe 8. My first one actually didn't red ring though. My first one had a different overheating problem where it was just like overheating and like glitching in the games and freezing and stuttering. And I called Microsoft about it and it was a known issue. And all I had to do was register and they sent me a new one. And then the new one they sent me red ringed. So they sent me another new one. And that one seems good. What in the world is up with this? You see this? Like a hunk of hot glue just chilling here. Not connected to anything. No, I'm serious. Look how big this thing is. Look how big that is.
Was that in the
Yeah, look.
Xbox?
It was just hanging out in the Xbox. In the CD drive.
Oh, Lord. GameStop.
Well, I can't blame that on GameStop. Because I don't know for sure. I mean, I can blame them, but that doesn't mean it's true. Let's pop the control board out. I got this from that same shop we did the NES from last week, and I'll put a link to that video in the corner if you don't know what I'm talking about. On last week's Fix It Friday, which was very successful with very minimal work, and that was kind of awesome. Okay, let's reconnect this, because I actually don't know what that's for. Oh my god, you're so annoying. One of the things I don't like about working in here is I don't have as good a lighting as I do in my workroom, which I'm sure you can see it on the camera how dark everything is right now.
If you need to, you can screw in some more light bulbs. I know that probably doesn't help, but...
Oh yeah, I forgot the half these light bulbs are unscrewed.
6 light bulbs that aren't screwed.
BRB. That is a hell of a lot brighter. Cool. We need to go a little deeper into the mechanisms of this thing, not the electronics. So we snap the electronics back in. Let's see if we can get this tray out of the metal. If it works like the original Xbox, it should just slide right out.
You alright?
Razzle, frazzle, frazzle, that hurt.
Do you have a Band-Aid?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so there's our tray, which is locked in. So we're actually going to have to plug this stupid thing in and get it to eject. One of the reasons I keep plugging the HDMI back in is I've actually never had one of these with HDMI, so I don't know if it's like the original model where you had to have a video source plugged in for it to boot. But I'm assuming that it is, so I keep doing that. Alright, so we should be able to just hit the button and it spit the disc out. I'm trying to get the disk drive to stay out, and it keeps going back in. We'll just hold my finger here and yank the plug out. That was probably great on this thing. Oh, it did not like that. Hopefully we didn't just short circuit the Xbox there. Okay, so where do these two white wires go? Some sort of switch here. That might actually be a switch to say, hey, the drive is open or the drive is shut. Just based on where it is. Oh, did you lock back in again? Okay, cool. I found the manual release, in case you're wondering. The manual release, there we are, is right here. This little gap right here. When you shut it, watch right here, slides over. So the manual release, you take this and shove it over, let you go back in. It's the thing we learned today. I gotta take this stupid drive tray out, I'm not sure how. Okay, so it looks like we lift up this tab here and the tray should just come all the way out. So, okay. Aha. Okay, so there's a little nub right here. There's a little nub right here. Lift this up as you're pulling the tray out and it should come all the way out. And that leaves us with this here. So it looks like I was right. There is actually a middle switch here which tells it whether the drive tray is open or closed. Oh, there's two of them. There's one here and one here. So that seems to be working. I guess we can check the continuity there. Make sure the switch contact is working, instead of sitting here trying to guess. Okay, so contact A. All the way out seems to be working fine. So we're getting a good solid signal from each side of, hey, the thing's all the way open, or hey, the thing's all the way closed. And those cables are here, straight down of these pads here, which look totally fine. These cables here are a little jacked up, but they don't go there. They go to the spindle assembly, which hasn't had any issues yet. But circuitry-wise, that looks fine. I don't see any burnt traces. I don't see anything out of place. Okay, so what actually facilitates that going over? This shaft here. That's fine. This is working as intended. Okay, so we do have a small imperfection on the tray here, which may have an effect on this. Let's see if we can flatten that back out. because that is how this gets pushed over to say the drawer is shut. So if that's not going over consistently, then that could be what's wrong. Just bend it up with my fingernail as best we can. And let's put this back in and just kind of watch it track. So we need to go all the way to the open position and the slot. Okay, so also there's 2 slots here and here, and that's what your tray is going to go back into. So here and here, and getting it back in should be just a matter of getting the gears lined back up and getting this post to realign. And the way I did that was just look straight down in. You can see the post as long as it's all the way to the, if you're looking at it right here, all the way to the right. And as long as you're all the way to the right, it should line up fine. So it's going to go up and over, and from there it should let go. And the motor should grab it from there and pull the drive in and up. And say I'm in, locked, good to go. I wish this was a little bit longer. Let me go see if I have a free SATA cable. This is just standard SATA. Alright. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so if my voice goes on you, I'm sorry. It's been a very interesting week. This is actually the first day that I can talk without sounding like a prepubescent boy. It's quite interesting. Power up. And power on. Okay, so it's up and running. You guys can see the drive tray, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so looks like it's trying to work, but it actually won't work. There's a magnet that holds the disc on the top, and that has to be in place for this to actually grab the disc and go. So we'll slap this on and try it that way. This should just drop right into place without me having to, or I could short out and reset the system. That's this stupid SATA cable. So this one, it's broken on the end. Doesn't like to hold in very well. Let's power back down, get this original SATA connector back in, and see if it still works after that. So those are actually opposite of each other's angles. So the one that plugs into the board is the opposite angle of the one that plugs into the drive, and that's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay. So now I won't short circuit anything, but I just drop it back in. Power back in and back on. Okay, eject button. Looks good. Oh wow, it's actually reading the disc now. Reading, that's new. Play game. Well, we may as well. So yeah, we're up and running. Other than this GameStop mod that has made it extremely loud, which I guess is to improve the cooling. And this drive makes so much noise. Why do you make so much noise? Do we care that it's noisy? I don't know. What do you think, dear? Is that too noisy?
Yes.
This?
Turn ours on and compare noise.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll run grab mine and we'll see how loud mine is and see if this is an acceptable volume or not. So, my Xbox is an original Pro. So you'll see I don't have the HDMI port here. And I have upgraded the hard drive to the 120 gig, which I got a very good deal on at the flea market, just coincidentally. Wow. Have you seen how yellow this thing is? It looks like UV discoloration, like, you know how the...
Oh yeah, like the Nintendo.
Like the Super Nintendo, yeah. Alright, so we're not going to have video out because mine is old. It doesn't have HDMI, but this pack on the back acts like the actual breakout cable that it came with. So it will say that there's a signal attached and actually operates. So let's see what happens on here. You'll notice already the fans are significantly quieter. Even with this add-on fan accessory on the back, it's still quieter. Okay, so that disk drive is ridiculously loud. Ooh, we're playing Capcom Digital Collection.
No, we were not. We were playing Puzzle Fighter because that's what we got it for.
That's what you got it for.
That's what I got it for.
Looks like this one on the newer Xbox is also missing the spring down here for the USB ports. So that's a baseline sound. That's how loud it is for the disk drive. But that's also through a layer of EMI shield and a layer of outer plastic. So I guess that's about the same. For the disk drive noise, yeah, that's alright. And it was making that same crunchy noise the other one was making, so I guess that's normal, or mine's broken too. So, I think we're done. We do need to put these screws back in the bottom of this and bolt it back up and slap it back together. I am going to go back over this with my dust toothbrush that I've mentioned in several videos that I use exclusively for cleaning dust off of things. I don't think I ever explained why I do that. Basically, the brush will always have dust in it, so you never want to use cleaning supplies on it like alcohol or Windex or what have you, because it'll actually just smudge the dust that's in it all over everything else. So you go over it with one brush dry to get all the dust out, and then if you need a cleaner, you use a different brush for the cleaners. So that's the idea there. So I'm gonna grab that brush and get this cleaned up, and I guess we'll slap it back together. I just realized that you guys couldn't see anything I was just talking about, so I'll just say all that over again. So basically, we're gonna throw these screws back in here, put it back down, make sure it still works, and then just basically assemble it piece by piece and make sure it still works as we get each piece in. I'm gonna leave that. Geez, do I leave the fan on there or not? I really don't like how loud that is. What do you think, dear? Do I leave in the GameStop fan override? Or do I take it out and just let the auto fan control work like it was made to? Because it's running at 100% fan speed at all times.
Take it out and see if it still works.
I guess I could, I mean, I don't actually have to take the cables out. It's just a matter of unplugging it. So it's like, undo the mod. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is undo the mod, use the stock fan controller built into the console to regulate these fans back here, and then if we see any overheating issues, this is still in here to do that with. Although that does seem a little dangerous to leave that out, because we'll get some electrical tape and wrap that up before we're done. Warranty void if seal damaged. So this sticker was actually broken before we got here, so somebody's actually been inside this disk drive too. That one little thing messed up in the tray was making it kick in and out, in and out, in and out. And attention to detail goes a long way in this kind of work. I mean, granted, I'm not like making money on doing this, but it's a lot of fun. And I thoroughly enjoy investigating things, so Lady Baka did not bring me the electrical tape, so we are just gonna duct tape it.
Wait, what?
I actually bring the electrical tape like 10 minutes ago.
Oh. For the Horde.
You good, little homie. Are you even on a Horde character?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. You have both? You have both? Yeah, doesn't everybody? No! Anybody gets that reference, let me know. You get like 10 cool points from me. Just let me know down in the comments. Not that cool points are worth anything for me, because I am most certainly not cool. So, update on the Xbox One from Fix It Friday a few weeks ago. Link in the card in the corner here. I talked to my brother, and he is up in the air if he actually wants to fix it or not. We found a really good price on a motherboard online, but the problem with just replacing the motherboard is I didn't notice until after we had done that video. To replace the motherboard, you also have to replace the disk drive. So when you buy one used, you have to buy the motherboard and the Blu-ray controller board, because they are paired to each other. Every motherboard in an Xbox One is paired to its Blu-ray drive, and if you put in a Blu-ray drive that's not the one from that exact Xbox, it won't work. Which is a little ridiculous, I think, but that's how they did it. There. Cool. Alright, so we got this electrical contact taped up. We're just going to tuck it back here where it can't do any harm. Knock on wood. We may actually tape it to, what is that? That's the AV out. We don't want to tape, well, AV out won't get hot. In like 3 months, if this thing catches on fire from this duct tape, I will make sure I leave that clip in. What I was saying was, I literally just said, AV port won't get hot. Some duct tape to it. So what I was just saying was, if this thing catches on fire because it's on the AV port, I'm going to leave that clip in there and do it in slow motion. AV port won't get hot. Or something like that.
Your whole channel is judging you for using duct tape.
Anybody watching my channel knows the uses of duct tape. I am not ashamed of proper use of duct tape, and adhering things in a temporary manner until you get a cage together is actually an acceptable use of duct tape anyway. So don't judge me.
So bad.
What?
Look. We're both judging you together.
Oh, you and the cat. Yeah, you're judging me. I don't actually care. But thank you for the information. Yeah.
What?
Let's try that again.
Makes you feel any better? I didn't even know what I was just looking at, so... Oh, okay.
Well, I've said before, the channel's not called Smart Projects. Alright, so, next checkpoint. The disk drive is reassembled. We are using the original fan, not this funky bypass thing GameStop invented. So we should have a quieter console. And everything is down and ready for the top cage to go on. But it's very important when you're doing work like this that you make sure you test at every point. So it'll be test now, make sure it works, make sure there's nothing wrong. And it'll be tested again when we get the cage on. And it'll be tested again once we get the whole entire assembly back together to make sure that everything works every step of the way. Now, that might seem like a waste of time, but if you know where it stopped working, it's a lot easier to fix it. That seems to still be working fine. Okay, looks like it's still working. That's great. Power off, and go to the next step, which will be this outer shell here. Okay. Alright, so top cage reinstalled but not screwed in. We'll check again here. Genius. So I kind of like this whole HDMI port thing. That's pretty cool. Disc read correctly. Cool. So now we put screws back in, which I labeled all of these. We'll go ahead and put all the long ones in first, just to get them out of the way. Okay. Alright, and let's test that. And everything else is just plastic shroud snapping to it, so shouldn't really need to test it again, but just for consistency's sake. There it is. Let's finish slapping this back together. Okay, it's all the framework back in, let's get this base piece back in. This base piece is all kinds of jacked up. Whoever did this did not take care of that. And front faceplate. It's missing a piece here, isn't it? Yep, we're missing a piece. Very interesting. Anyway guys, that's gonna wrap it up for now. We finished fixing up the little 360 here. That little bitty piece of plastic knocked out of alignment apparently was the whole problem with the drive tray, which is why this thing was thrown in the junk pile to fix. I mean, I grabbed this up from that same shop with the I got the NES from. I think I paid 15 bucks for it because it was broken with drive problems, and that was all it said. But it's fixed now. Very small attention to detail took care of that. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing though. I have a perfectly good 360. Biggest issue I have is I don't have a second power supply, and it's also missing the vanity plate that goes here. If you look at mine, there's a plate here that goes in front of the hard drive, and this one doesn't have that. So to sell this thing to anybody that's looking for like a refurbished one, I'm gonna have to buy that plate. I'm gonna have to buy a replacement plate for the bottom because the one at the bottom is jacked up. It works, but it just falls off if you hit it the right direction. And then a hard drive and a power supply. And by the time I buy all that stuff, it's not worth doing. Like I can't get out of it what I would have to put into it to get it up and running. So I'm not sure what to do with this thing, but it's done, it works, it's fixed. If you guys have any suggestions of what to do with a used Xbox that you don't have any use for, leave me a comment down below. Lady Bucka has a suggestion.
It's a backup Netflix machine for the Squish.
I think you still have to have a hard drive for that.
I have no idea.
We might be able to buy a memory card. I know you can put some things on the memory card. I don't know if you can put Netflix on the memory card because I don't have one.
I'm sure she'll break her PlayStation eventually.
Yes, yeah, we can have a backup Netflix machine, so when the Squish's PS3 breaks, you can have a 360 to watch Netflix on. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. Hit like if you liked it. Leave a comment if you have any questions, comments, any suggestions of what to do with this thing, or if you want to see me mod it, maybe we could mod it or something. I don't know. I haven't done any case mods on anything like this before, but it's the first time for everything. It's the first time inside one of these things too. That's going to do it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.